So I'm heading to my son's football game. Now, my son doesn't play football. He is first chair trumpet player in the marching band. And I'm exceedingly proud of him. I have always encouraged him to really pursue creative outlets, music, art. For those of you that may not know, he is also an exceptional actor in the one-act play. And he's been in musicals as well, and he's been voted best actor, and he's achieved accolades both in music and acting. You know, and let's talk about that for a minute. You know, early on in my parenting years, I really wanted to be a good parent. I mean, I think all of us set out to be good parents. But one of the things I really latched onto about being a parent was the importance of seeing my children as little human beings, capable of creativity and imagination and intelligence, and that they were waiting for me to lead them, and their mom to lead them into good things, like the trumpet, or one act, or sports, or academics, or anything that is good in this world. You know, it's one of the gifts of being a parent is you get to introduce wonderful things into your children's lives. And for those things that you introduce them to, that it really speaks to them, to then be able to really encourage the development or the pursuit of whatever that thing is in their life. I know for me, in looking at other parents and looking at what I want to be and what I don't want to be, I think a common thread that a common mistake a lot of parents make is in trying to determine what they think is what their children ought to be doing. Now, I know that this is done honestly, and I'm not suggesting that there aren't clear boundaries that we as parents are to sort of guide our kids, but I think the area that is missed, and the reason why parents oftentimes are at odds with their kids or can't understand why their kids want to do this or not do that, is that they don't, and I'm going to speak for fathers here. I think mothers are a lot more likely to do this in a good way, to realize this. But so many fathers, I think, discount the heart, and they don't understand, because they were probably raised by a father that didn't understand either, that what is passion on the inside, what is real to a kid, that's the areas that we should be encouraging in their life, even if those passions or desires are not at all the things we would want for them. You know, so many dads have, let's say, their high school years in football were some of the best memories of their life. They want desperately to recreate those moments for their son because they know how much they loved it, and so they want to give it to their son. That's a noble thing. That's not bad. But what happens is they can oftentimes fail to realize that the things that their kid will pursue in high school, if it isn't football, but if it is their passion, will be just as enjoyable, just as fulfilling, if not more so, than the football experience you had. And so, again, for me, the most important thing that we as parents can do is to help our children discover what makes their heart come alive. And then once that is discovered, we as parents got to get behind it and encourage and contribute and support that heart, that thing in their heart, that passion, with our money, with our time. You know, I wasn't in theater when I was in high school. I played baseball, but I've always appreciated theater. But it wasn't until my son was in theater and I was able to go and participate in watching him in this craft, in this art form, man, it's just come alive in me about how enjoyable it is, how amazing it is. And interestingly enough, I actually last year was in a play in Winsboro about Bonnie and Clyde. Had the time of my life. It was wonderful. And my son, although I appreciated theater, my son being a part of it, really introduced it to me in such a way that I pursued it myself. Now, see what a reciprocal gift that is. By me supporting him, it opened up new opportunities in my life for joy. And to discover areas of my heart that maybe I didn't know I had passion about. And that's really it. That's the point at which this thing swings, is that when we invest in someone, be it a friend, family member, spouse, or a child, when we really invest in them, in the things that matter to them, in with money and time and energy and just encouragement that they can do it and you should chase that dream, what we end up with on the other end of the spectrum is all the joy and satisfaction and fulfillment that comes from witnessing someone we care about fulfilled or living their passion. I mean, what a wonderful thing that is. And then as a bonus, like what would happen with me with the one act play, that sometimes it actually shows up in your own life. You know, man, now that's a big win. Everybody's winning. So if your kids are into things that you don't understand or you're not into and you don't understand, just jump in it with them anyway. And I promise you, not only will they win, you'll win, but it will build relationship and bond and intimacy between you and trust. And man, there's nothing more sacred, more valuable than that. So, until next time.